Out of the Blue is 106 pieces of embroidered Victorian underwear, embroidered with the stories of 100 people living with epilepsy, which moves in the algorithms of an epileptic brain. It's the most complicated installation I've ever done, and it's the most exciting piece of work I've ever done. The 106 pieces of embroidery are actually sewn together, so there's actually 100, and there's 5 rows of 20. And they're on wires suspended from the ceiling, and the wires are attached to pulleys, which are attached to motors, which are attached to computers. And this wonderful young researcher, Alan Ballon, I've had working on it, has programmed the algorithms of an epileptic brain so that the thing moves like it's like a sea of brain activity. It's big, it's dynamic, and it's incredibly slightly religious, really, sort of awe-inspiring, because this underwear seems to hold the history of these people who have written their extraordinary and poignant and sometimes very painful experiences of living with a condition like epilepsy. I've worked very closely with the Epilepsy Society, who put me in touch with many of their members. And I had an extraordinary response, probably a year and a half ago now, from people. Some of them are mothers with children with epilepsy. Some people are teenagers, they've just been diagnosed with epilepsy. Some people have lived with epilepsy for 40 or 50 years. And their stories are extraordinary. They're very raw, and they're very, very honest. And I think if I've learnt anything from them, that epilepsy is a condition which is really hard to live with, because it gives you uncertainty. You wake up in the morning and you don't know quite what's going to happen to you. And that is a very difficult thing to live with. The scale of the project has meant that I've had to work really collaboratively. So I've had to find people to write their testimonies, people to embroider the work. And I've worked with a fantastic young 3D designer called Will Atkins, who helped me design it and put the structure together. And also we've had the most amazing installation team here at Hatton, who have worked flat out to make it work. I'm moved and overwhelmed by the fact that although I've got my name to it, it's my work, but the honest truth is that I'm dependent on a lot of other very talented people to bring it together, for which I'm enormously grateful. I've been thinking about what I want the audience to take away from it, and I think that art, unlike medicine, can't cure people. It can open up people's minds to things. So there's 2 things I want from the installation. One is for people maybe to have a better understanding of the experience of living with epilepsy, but also I want the artwork, it's so monumental and it's so dramatic that I want them to have a sense of awe about it, really, and maybe through that reaction to the artwork to then come to think about what the artwork's about, and to think about your brain, really, and how important it is to you, and what an awesome object that is.